Two out of my three phones say that it's 6 o'clock, so we'll call the regular meeting to order. If everybody could please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everybody for coming. We'll try to make this as riveting and entertaining as always. So we'll start out with item number 2 on our agenda, which is consent agenda items.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the minutes of May 6th and the minutes of May 28th.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of May 6th and May 28th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Action items A, B, and C.
I'll make a motion to approve action items A, B, and C. Voucher numbers A 1906 01001 to 1906 01026 for $22,427.39. Voucher number 1906-02001 to 1906-02012 for $19,831.60. And action item number C, water payment, water fund vouchers 1906-03002 to 1906-03002 for $58.84.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve action items. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Scott, would you like to start?
Sure. Busy but short. Court meeting May 6th. May 10th was Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization, again working on the interlocal agreement and the bylaws, which is moving along nicely. May 15th through the 17th, the spring meeting in Spokane, which was really good. By the way, I got on the search committee for the new executive director. We haven't met yet. And May 27th, North Mason Community Voice, and the speaker was Kim Reinhardt. She was the executive director for HOST, which is the Housing Option for Students in Transition. She was really good. That was really informative. Look it up if you can, HOST. And of course, May 28th, the court meeting.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yeah, I went to Spokane and attended the EWB conference with our executive director. Listened to Nikki Haley speak. That was outstanding. She did a wonderful job. And then the 2 port commissioner meetings, and then the conference in Spokane. That was very good.
Thank you. I as well attended the regular report meeting, went to the conference in Spokane, which I also thoroughly thought was educational and worth my time to go. EDC council meeting and the second special report meeting that we had. Feels like last week. It was. All right, so no security officer report. Moving on to executive director's report.
All right, annual report. The annual report was due to the state auditor by May 30th. We completed it and sent it in a few days early. There was an issue about bars, numbers, and bias, which were set up for the ones that the county uses. However, they don't match what ports use for the state. Leanne worked with bias to resolve it, but it did require some non-automated work. Bias is now aware of the issue and will have it resolved in time for the 2020 annual report. I'd like to say that I know that Leanne worked really hard on it and did a great job.
And to clarify, the bars numbers were the same as the counties, because that was the ones that we used to set it up. And so that was.
We are still the only port that bias has.
Yes, they do.
They're talking to the Port of Brownsville.
Oh, they are?
Great.
Yeah. And I think they're talking with Iwaka. Credit card processor change. We're changing our credit card processor from Kitsap Bank to a company called Certified Payment Systems. Currently, we have programmed the pay station to add the 3.5% merchant service fee we pay to the bank, since we can't legally absorb this. However, we also pay the merchant service fee on the entire transaction amount, not just our base charge. If we take credit cards here in the office for things like gazebo rental, we have to figure the service fee amount by hand, then enter it into bias under a separate line item from the rental, as well as pay the merchant service fee on the entire amount. Now we will just charge our stated amounts and certified payments electronically as the service fee to the transaction before it's submitted, so we don't have to touch it or do any additional bookkeeping for it. We still get 100% of the pay station money and any other credit or debit card transactions, and it's still deposited the same day as we do now, but it electronically goes through certified first, then has a fee added which they collect, and that's how they make their money. They're working with Ventec, the pay station vendor, to get the new programming done, which we won't be charged for. This should save us approximately $2,000 a year.
Good job.
Water system issues. We've not heard anything recently concerning the 15 water availability letters issued to Cedarland Homes or from Kitsap, or from Housing Kitsap. Joe Cedarland told me last month they're moving forward, have 2 sets of house plans being designed. We'll have 4 models total and hopefully start construction this summer. He also said they've purchased a 7-acre parcel in front of Haven and Allyn. They'll be developing that as well. I expect we should hear back from them in the next few weeks, but from what I hear from other sources is that Housing Kitsap won't be doing anything. Excuse me. The Eric Community Utilities proposal, nothing really new on this. As we've discussed previously, we had some informal discussions with the Eric Community Utilities to purchase their water system, which is adjacent to ours. After discussing this with Mr. Carey, we've decided the best path to begin moving this forward is to have the system appraised. However, finding someone who actually does these kind of appraisals has been problematic at best. I contacted PUD number 1 since they had purchased more than 30 small systems in the past year. However, they referred me to Evergreen Rural Water, of which we are members. The executive director said she would look into it and report back, but as of yet I haven't heard anything. I also spoke with a couple of other water purveyors, and they too referred me to Evergreen Rural Water. Another call to the executive director this past Friday resulted in my just leaving another voicemail, so we're still at square one. Property purchase. I've been told by Kim Sellers, our RCO grant manager, that after the projects had been ranked, we scored number 10 of the 18 applications they received, and our request for the property purchase and staging area project is about 99% sure to be funded at 100%. RCO is meeting on June 26 and 27 to make the final decisions on allocations. However, the money won't be available until August. While we received the property appraisal back and is anywhere near what the sellers told me their bottom line price is, I did some calculations on their net revenue after cost of sales, comparing it to selling to us in an eminent domain situation, and it's about a wash for them without the unknown cost of any repairs they could be required to make selling to a private party. So now we'll just have to enter into negotiations with the seller and see where it goes. I've had some discussions with the seller, and I'm pretty convinced we can make this work somehow. Dock issue. We could have dead end with Endurus and engaged Foster Pepper to deal with them. They feel this is a bogus denial at best, and they sent Endurus a demand letter for coverage. I've enclosed a copy of the letter in your meeting packets. But unless Endurus is willing to honor the claim, we may be stuck with the cost of the entire repair until the matter is settled, perhaps in court. We had our own diver out on May 16th to do an inspection, see exactly what condition the underside of the dock is actually in, and if anything is damaged and needs to be replaced. I've included a summary of their report in your meeting packets as well, and forward it, as well as the original, onto the attorney when I received it. Since you all approved authorizing Marine Floats to build a new southern section and add new floats to the center and northern section at the special meeting on May 28th, I contacted them and will send them a contract to do the work in the morning. Since it exceeds my spending authority, it's on the agenda tonight for you to approve me signing it. The work will include the bigger floats they recommended that we discussed, allowing the dock to sit higher in the water, which will help mitigate future wave damage to both the floats, as well as the dock's bottom side structure and metal hardware. In the meantime, we've closed a section of the dock the southern section of the dock until the damage is repaired, hopefully by Allyn days. Lobbying contract, when Josh and Trevor were here for the May 28th meeting, Josh wasn't aware we had previously signed a 3-year contract, gave us an out after the first year. I sent him an email, which I forwarded to each of you with a copy of their proposal and a resolution approving it, saying we wanted to continue with their services as long as it didn't exceed the total amount of $90,000 over the term of the agreement. The contract ends in September of 2021, and Josh asked about extending it to the end of that year, which may be a good idea as we'll know what we want to do for projects and what ducks we need to get in a row for funding. The legislative session begins in January, so if we want to negotiate a new contract for 2022 forward, we probably want to do that sometime in late 2020. Parking at the North Shore, the project was finished in time for shrimp season and actually got quite a bit of use. The only thing left is to permanently mount the signage. I will also contact the PUD to get some pricing for installing some security lighting in the rear of the lot to deter undesirables from using it at night for illicit activities. Security issues. I haven't really had much time to research security issues since the last meeting, but I've done some preliminary online research. I'm looking into the cost and what it will take to install some kind of high-resolution wireless remote camera system here at the park, as well as at the Hood Canal Boat Launch and the marina. There are systems available that will transfer images to cell phones from multiple cameras in multiple locations and store them for downloading if necessary for law enforcement documentation. I'm hoping to be able to set up about a half a dozen cameras for around $1,000. More on this as I learn more. There's a place in Tukwila called 25/7 Security I'd like to go visit, as they appear to be the largest security equipment provider in this area. Hopefully I'll be able to do that this week. I had also asked Don to install sharps containers in all the restrooms here and at the kayak park. We've ordered these, but they're on back order and haven't arrived yet. We're dealing with more discarded syringes than ever before, and I believe we need to take steps to attempt to protect both our staff from harm as well as the general public. We've restricted the hours the restrooms are open in an attempt to minimize all this, but it's still a problem. 3D building acquisition, nothing new to report on this. However, a new co-working space called Vibe, which is what I envisioned us doing in that building, recently opened in Ballsville. I got a tour of the facility. They've offered to give all of you a tour as well if you want to see what the concept is and how it works. Also have a couple of brochures here from a couple of other co-working spaces that explain the concept and have rates for you all to look at. Right there. WPPA meeting schedules. The WPPA Finance Seminar is June 12 to 14 at Alderbrook, and the annual Commissioner Seminar will be July 22nd to 24 at Suncadian. Executive Director Seminars July 11 and 12 at Skamania Lodge, and the Environmental Seminar September 26 and 27 at Campbell's Lodge in Chelan. We've made reservations for everyone for the Finance Seminar at Alderbrook. We need commitments about attendance so we can finalize reservation for both of those. Retreat. We had previously discussed doing a retreat after the Finance Seminar at Alderbrook. Leanne is checking into getting us a small meeting room to do this. We'll need to discuss future projects and the update to our comprehensive scheme. But I'd like to know if any of you have specific subjects you'd like to discuss so we can develop an agenda. Also, do you think we need to engage a facilitator? If so, would the person we used last time be acceptable, or do you want anyone else? If so, I'm open to suggestions. Vacation, I'll be taking a week's vacation from August 13th through the 19th. Bryce and I are doing another baseball trip, only this time to the East Coast. Totem pole issue, nothing new to report. I can go into old business if you would like.
Yes.
Transient Mortgage Expansion Project, we are all but stopped on this until the dock is repaired. We put this out to bid to qualified contractors on the MRSC Small Works roster the week before Honduras' engineers report came back saying the entire dock needed to be replaced. We did have some interest from contractors and have chosen an acceptable bid. I've also ordered the power and water pedestals. In talking with Marine Floats, we can pre-wire and pre-plumb the sections of the new dock and put the pedestals in place while the new floats are being fitted into place, since they have to open the top of the dock to do it. That way, all we need to do is connect them together. As reported last month, I've ordered the pay station for the boat launch as well, but it's still several weeks out for delivery. Nothing new to report on Sweetwater Park other than we figured out that we had sent the signed paperwork to RCO, which is why we couldn't find it the other day, and they're supposed to get a deed issued for us. I emailed Kim Sellers at RCO, and she said we should have it by now, and that she would look into it. She researched it, and it appears that it may not have yet been processed, but Kim told me she's on it. Oyster House, I'll be coordinating with Bonnie Knight to set up a schedule of tasks to be performed on the stabilization and using the drawings Mike Ross did to get it out to bid hopefully this week. Criminalization of marina rules. Nothing new's happened on this. However, after the All Ports meeting, I think if we press this issue in conjunction with the other ports, we may actually get somewhere. All Ports meeting, Port of Shelton offered to host our next Mason County Ports meeting, which should have already taken place, but they said they want to wait till fall. The last Kitsap All Ports meeting was April 22nd, next one's July 22nd. That's my report.
Thank you.
Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Who is housing Kitsap? Is that any?
That's the Housing Authority in Kitsap County. Used to be Kitsap
Yeah.
County Consolidated
Yeah,
Housing
that's what I
Authority.
was wondering.
Yeah, they just
Okay.
changed the name.
Okay.
All right, moving on to new business, discussion about commissioner retreat.
What do you want to do?
So, I mean, I don't think that we need to hire a facilitator. I think that
Yeah, I'm with you on that
the
too.
5 or 6 of us in a room can kind of, I mean, I think we just put down every project, everything we got on our mind, and we talk about each item. And where's the fireside room, or I think they call it that at Allyn.
We're working on something here. WPPA is taking those meeting rooms for the entire day.
Mhm.
The seminar gets over at noon. So we're trying to see if we can't just use the room, one of their meeting rooms the rest of the day.
I-
Oh, well, that'd be good.
Then we wouldn't have to pay for it.
Okay.
I won't be there, and you won't be at the conference.
So do we need to reschedule the retreat then?
One of the 3 days, I didn't know we scheduled the retreat.
No, we haven't. You
Yeah.
all had talked about doing it at
After-
the finance seminar
Yeah,
because it's at Alderbrook.
Which I can't attend.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are we all gonna be, not everybody's gonna be able to make this, Suncadia?
I'm not certain that I'm gonna make that one either.
Because if that's it, if you want to do it there, Leanne and I could drive over and, do it one overnight and then, at
What
the end
about-
of it, or the beginning of it either.
What about Leavenworth?
That will definitely be it.
Yeah,
That's
we
in
could wait.
October.
That's quite a ways.
Yeah, that's
but-
October.
Well,
It's
I was-
quite a ways, but we all need to be together, so,
Well, sure, I'm good with that.
And if there's a day in June or July that we can just get that room at Alderbrook for the day, I mean.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to do it during any of the other regular.
Yeah, I actually
Okay.
think that it is, yeah, and then if you buy lunch, do they give you a break? Okay. I think they might. Yeah, I mean. seems like-
Yeah, we
We're
could have
going to
it
be
set
happy
aside.
the
Yeah.
WPPA leftovers.
Yeah, there's that.
Well,
So,
that'd
yeah,
be
we
the
can
best.
eat those
Are you gonna
cookies.
make the
Cookies.
finance meeting? To the finance?
No, it's horrible that I'm the one that always suggests they have it at Alderbrook. And actually, the finance seminar is the one I like to go to the most, but it's just,
So you're
it's
not
safety
gonna be
days
able-
that same week, and I can't miss safety days.
Okay.
And, yeah. So,
All right,
if it was any other week,
I gotcha. Yeah, well, keep me posted when you want to,
Well,
do
if
the
you want to
retreat.
do it at small ports, I mean, I don't even know that we need to get a room. I mean, we could just congregate in somebody's hotel room.
Sure.
I mean, those are big rooms, just get a couple extra chairs.
We're already paying for it, so.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, no facilitator, potentially at small ports in October.
Okay.
Maybe discuss
Okay.
it next month, and
Sure.
you could find out if we got all to go for 4 hours. What that would cost. Okay. Any other discussion about the retreat? And no action. Next item is approval of contract with Marine Floats for dock repair.
I just need you to approve me signing it.
So is that
Do you have a
motion or resolution?
No, it just needs a motion.
Okay. What?
Yeah, it exceeds my spending authority, so I just need
what's
you
the-
to,
Yeah, what's the title of that? Because I make a motion that we authorize Larry to,
Execute contract.
yeah, I thought you might
yeah.
want to look at the contract.
Well, I think, isn't this one that we already saw?
No,
Oh.
I just drafted it today.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
But that's boilerplate language I got
Mhm.
from the Port of Kingston, I don't know, a couple of years ago, for all of this kind of stuff, and I just plugged our name into it everywhere.
Well, I make a motion that we authorize Larry to fulfill the agreement with Marine Floats Corporation. That's probably not proper term, fulfill it, but to go ahead and sign it and authorize to spend the money in regard to Marine Floats Corporation.
What's the total?
79,000 something.
That's not in the contract.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
There's
here
a
it is.
number there.
There it is.
Are these two the same?
Yeah. I think it's on the first page there.
79.
Oh, yeah, $79,351.
That's 37,000 for the southern section, or
Mhm.
almost 38. 18,500 for the floats in the center section, and then 16, I think it's 16,800 for the northern section. But, you know, we can possibly get the 38,000 and 9,200 out of Honduras if the lawyers are successful.
Mhm.
But
And so are they going to get the permits? Because I know we're going to.
I put that in there.
Okay, I'm just digging through it real quick.
Yeah, and I slipped that in there somewhere. That they're responsible for the materials and blah, 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 and permitting. I don't remember where I put it in there, I could look real quick.
Hopefully we'll get reimbursed. Are we gonna take this monies if we need to out of the IDD?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what I wanted to do was just take it out of the general fund until we needed to borrow money from IDA, because it's
That's
that
good.
much less interest we have to pay.
Yeah. Did you find it?
I'm just going, if I could just have 30 seconds just to, just hit.
Sure.
Yeah, it's section 5.1.
Got it. Thank you.
Did you find it, Scott?
Yeah, it's on page 2.
And they know this is coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I talked to Logan today about it. I talked to him Friday, I told him that. On Friday, I still had to write it, and then I wanted you all to approve it tonight because it exceeded my spending authority. And while you all approved it at the May 28th
Right.
meeting, I'm thinking about if we do get, when we get audited, because we will, I just didn't want there to be an issue with the auditor for it.
And did Logan say when he could do the start date?
He's gonna, what I put in there, I think, was start by June 10th
Okay.
and have finished by July
July
15th, which would get us, right before
Yeah, just
Allyn
before
days.
Allyn days.
The only question's gonna be getting the permitting done in time. But he's assured me they can get the work done in time.
All right, so motion on the floor to approve the contract and give Larry authorization. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, nothing new under new business, and we are to public comment. Commissioner?
Welcome.
Okay, well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's great.
One of our less exciting meetings. Anybody else?
What does RCD stand for?
Recreation Conservation Office,
And what does WPPA stand for?
Washington Public Ports Association.
She gave no reference. I figured they all knew it, but I didn't.
Anybody else?
Randy, you guys need to be, there's the call, so, is there any other stuff?
Yeah, I talked with Randy about that property we discussed for the shooting range.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And he's talked me out of even thinking about it.
You know about that property. I do know that we have a kind of a important dock repair to make, and Larry was just mentioning permits and,
Yeah.
are they tied up there?
Let me know, and I'll see if we can, government help.
Okay,
Okay.
appreciate that.
We've been able to do that a little bit in the past.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
How long is the back order for Sharps containers?
We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Don just told me that Abe contacted him and he's gonna send me an email, so that's.
One thing we
This
could do
one.
is just put a PVC pipe, cap it on the bottom, cut a small hole in the top to just drop their syringes in there, paint it orange,
Yeah.
and, I mean, we were on back order for the police department, and that's what I did for the guys. And so they wouldn't fall out, they wouldn't get stabbed, but, or pricked, but they had something for at least a couple of weeks until we got the Sharps containers, so.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to do those. I did a bunch of them for the police department, but, and they're easy to mount. All it is bracket.
Yeah. My stepdaughter's diabetic and uses a syringe. And she puts them in an old pop bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually what they recommend.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can see through it. So
Yeah.
See what they are.
Any other good to the order?
Nothing?
Endorse, is that your insurance company?
Mhm.
Endurance, yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Meeting is adjourned.
You can use your new gavel.